And the last move here, and this did not get a lot of play, and this was not something that happened on the show. This happened off the air. But I am very excited to see what they might do with this guy, and that is Chad Gable. Chad Gable has been split away from Shelton Benjamin. He is now on Monday Night Raw, which means he is now on the same brand with Kurt Angle, which means we can get some backstage, maybe comedy segments with Kurt and with Chad. And I said from the beginning that if they were going to do this stupid illegitimate son storyline, I would have went with Chad Gable over Jason Jordan. And Jordan made the most of it. It's a kind of a shame that he got hurt when he did, because Jordan was finally, it was clicking for him as a heel. Like, people genuinely, hated this guy. And he was having some really good matches, and he was working with people like Seth Rollins, and everything seemed to be going his way, and then he got hurt. And for his sake, I hope he can keep up that momentum when he comes back. But I would have gone with Chad Gable. I think of the two, that would have been more believable, because I do see a lot of similarities, even beyond the Olympic stuff, between Kurt Angle and Chad Gable. So A, I'm happy that the two of them are on the same show, and B, they can do something with Gable and Jordan. I don't know if maybe, you kind of put the two of them back together as a team for a limited time, or when Jordan comes back, if he goes right back into the singles hunt, maybe he can have some matches or a feud even with Chad Gable. But I definitely would not. I mean, that's sort of this loose end that was never tied up, and I would go back and do something there. The question is, how do they see Chad Gable, right? I mean, is Chad Gable going to be any better off on Raw than he was on SmackDown? Is he going to be worse? Is he going to be kind of lumped into the same category as people like Mojo Rawley and The Ascension and Breezango and Zack Ryder? I think that would be a huge mistake, because I think there's a lot of talent there. I think he's a very, there's a lot of personality there too, and a lot of humor. And I think that he could go very far if Vince McMahon and the powers that be see the kind of talent that this guy has. And I recognized it right away in NXT. Still one of the coolest things I ever saw was on that. It was in the Dusty Classic, the first one they did. When he was in there, I think who was he teaming with? I guess it was him and Jordan against, I think it was Corbin and Rhino. Go back and find that tag team match they had, because there's the one rolling German spot that he did with Corbin that impressed the hell out of me. The Chaos Theory, right? And Corbin's not a small dude. Gable is compared to Corbin, and he picked him up like he was nothing. And I still to this day love the finish to that match, where I don't even know how you describe it, but Gable came off the ropes and was doing this whole tilt-a-whirl thing right into the end of days. It was this great finish. And when Gable came to SmackDown, I was hoping they would do something, maybe even a whole program with him and Corbin, because I think the whole big man, little man dynamic worked well between them. And we got like one match on TV, and I think it was a squash, and they never did anything again. Well, guess what? Gable and Corbin are both now back on the same brand. So you could still do something with the two of them if you really wanted to. So please, I implore WWE, do something with Chad Gable. Don't waste this guy's potential, because I think he's got a lot of it. And to me, that's what the shakeup is all about, right? You shake things up, you bring up some people from NXT, and you have people who maybe weren't getting opportunities here that now will get some opportunities. I'm not devastated by them breaking up him and Benjamin. They made for a good team, but it was a dead team. They weren't going anywhere, right? And when Benjamin came back, I thought one of the reasons they were looking for people like him, and they were going to bring back people maybe like Carlito or John Morrison, who didn't end up coming back, but they wanted to bring people like Benjamin back to work in some way with these newer stars and with some of the younger guys, and whether it was teaming with them or putting them over or whatever. And it was something for Gable to do, but I don't know that being in that tag team really helped him or did anything for him. So splitting them up and trying something new with him is something I'm not opposed to.